Shout out Michael B.
That's
Jordan
right.
and Michael A. Jordan.
Welcome back to Real Lounge Entertainment. As always, I'm Mike.
And I'm Tyler.
And joining us for the very first time is our partner in crime, Wesley. Go ahead, say
What's
hi.
up, guys?
Yeah, I'm sure you've seen him doing lots of shorts. You know, he's one of us equally. He just lives in another state. So we really have been trying to get him on this, and he's really wanted to get on here. So this is going to be fun.
Yep.
And
Yes, it is.
Since it's Wesley's first time, we basically kind of let him choose the movie. What movie did you choose, Wes?
I picked Sinners.
Ooh, a newer movie?
Yes, sir. Ryan Coogler.
Oh, good. Thanks for pronouncing that for me.
You don't know how to pronounce them.
Well,
Yeah, I got you.
I think I would have been fine on that one, but just
Yeah.
teasing myself. So, Sinners from 2025, obvious R rating, a runtime of 2 hours and 17 minutes, Rotten Tomato score of 96%, so that's a pretty high one. Budget of $90 million and a box office of $365 million. So, not too shabby at all for a horror movie. So, how do you guys feel about this movie overall before we really get into it? Do you like this movie, Tyler?
Wes, you go ahead.
sorry.
Go ahead. You can
Okay.
go.
I absolutely loved it. I watched it twice this weekend. One time to get prepared, and two, I told myself it was to get more prepared, but it was just because I really liked the movie, and I wanted to see if I rewatched it and missed anything. But Ryan Coogler did a bang up job from start to finish, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'll have to double down on that. I watched it the first time in theaters, Super IMAX, so that was really fun. The crowd was really into it, so the audience had pretty good reaction to that. Second viewing, caught a little bit more stuff, so I do give this movie a thumbs up, though.
I have only been able to watch this movie one time, which was last night, and I've kept Tyler in the dark on whether this is a good movie or a bad movie.
Yeah, screw you, Mike.
Yeah. And I'm going to tell you right now, I love this movie. Love this movie.
Awesome.
Thank God. Don't destroy this, Mike, please.
I won't destroy it. In
Thank
fact,
God.
when we get to dislikes, I don't really even know if I have too many at all.
On my second watch, I noticed a couple more things than I did the first time, but very few for me.
Yeah, I wish I would have been able to watch
Yeah.
this second time. I'll definitely be watching it again soon.
Yeah.
Were you going to say something, Wes?
Yeah, but I was just gonna say that my dislike side of my page is very small, and even with the ones that I have on here, I have rebuttals to them as well. So
Right.
it's not really a true dislike column, but yeah, great movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good movie when you're writing dislikes, but you're kind of also giving excuses.
Yeah, exactly.
I do it all the time. All right,
Yep.
so written and directed by Ryan Coogler, just like Wesley said. He also did Black Panther 1, 2, and he also did Creed. If you watched any of my videos on Black Panther recently, you guys got mad at me, but I'm already going to tell you this is my favorite movie he's directed. So,
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Hands down.
yeah. There's a character called Smoke in Stack, played by Michael B. Jordan. He's going to be, to me, the main character. I mean, they have Sammy, but he kind of falls to the background a lot in this
A
movie.
little bit, yeah.
So obviously he's our main character, but Michael B. Jordan really carries the load in this movie. Sammy is the preacher's son, played by Miles Caton.
Caton.
Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah.
This is his first movie I read, so
Yep, film debut.
so not too bad to be in the presence of all these heavy hitters in Hollywood right now. Slim,
He carried.
yeah, he did.
Yeah, he was
did
definitely
very
a
well. He did
bright
very
spot
well.
for me from this movie.
I just kind of wish if the main character that he would have been a little bit more in the main story.
Like involved or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was there at the beginning and kind of got pushed back in the middle, but lots of stuff did revolve around him. But
Yeah.
when you're in a movie with Michael B. Jordan, you're gonna get outshined.
You're going to get outshined, yeah.
Yeah.
Character named Slim. He was one of the musicians, played by Delroy Lindo. He is a great actor. I can't you look at his filmography. He's in tons of stuff, and nothing sticks out as oh, he's the main character in this or this or this. But
He's just like a great
he's
side
one
piece
that-
or something.
yeah, he's one of those actors that you recognize, and he's just great in everything. Me particular, I grew up watching Congo, and he is in the Sesame Cake scene, and I love it. So
I don't know him from anything. So
Special shout out.
Yeah, this is my first viewing of him, but he was funny in this.
Yeah, and then we don't need to go through too many more actors. I was gonna say like Remnick. He's like the main bad guy.
Yeah.
Played by Jack O'Connell. I don't know him from anything that I know
The
of.
only movie that I remember him from was Unbroken. Have you seen that
I
one?
didn't see that one.
Oh, never mind then. But yeah, that's the only thing I know.
I saw
of
an
him.
interview with him. He's a very interesting guy. And I thought he did a really good job in this movie as well as portraying the main villain.
He's Irish in real life, isn't he?
Yeah, and it was funny because they asked him about like the dancing that he does and the singing, and he was reading the script and he was like taken aback because those things he like traditional Irish dancing and the songs were things that he learned how to do when he was a kid.
Oh, really?
And he was like, "Wow, this is right in my wheelhouse. It's like Ryan Coogler knew me." It was really cool.
Yeah,
He's a really down to earth guy and awesome.
He was pretty perfect for this casting. So, is there any other characters you want to shout out right now, or just kind of when we go through the movie, guys?
I can just go through them. I don't
We can-
really.
yeah.
All right. Before we start, I just want to say, because of the headphones, I can't wear my fedora, so this is a sad day.
Boo.
Wah, wah.
I think this is the first video with my normal hat, and
Yeah.
I don't feel right. That's my protection. That's my.
It was just funny because he was trying to put it on, and I could just feel the anger, and I'm like,
Oh
I'm
man.
like so mad.
All right. So before we get into this movie, spoiler alert: we will be talking about spoilers. So if you haven't seen this movie and you
Go
don't
watch
wanna
it,
spoil,
then come back to
yeah,
this.
definitely
too.
go. Yeah,
Yes.
go watch it. Come back to this because it's worth watching before it gets spoiled for you. Not that there's really too many like twists. I think everyone knows like the main thing going on.
Yeah.
This is a period piece. Anyone know what time? Like what years?
I
it takes
think
place?
30s.
Yeah,
Or
1930s.
Either late 20s, early 30s, I think it was.
Well, I think it was, yeah, because it's got to be around the Prohibition because they worked for Al Capone, so it was around, I'd say, like late 20s.
Yeah. So this movie it's about these two brothers, Smoke and Stack. They're twins, and they come back from Chicago.
Yep.
They're coming back from Chicago to start up like a nightclub kind of thing, like a bar, and they're cousins to Sammy, who is the preacher's son.
Preacher boy.
Yeah, and he's like a musician.
boy.
Yeah. Is that actually his nickname, right?
Yeah, they call him
Yep.
Preacher boy. Yeah.
All right. And he's a musician too, so they're trying to get him to come work at the club and stuff like that. And this movie kind of has like two parts to it. You have the first like hour, which feels like a totally different movie than the second half, and it's almost jarring. If you don't know this is going to be a horror movie, it's kind of a real surprise to you.
Yeah, like right at the beginning when, Sammy, because they kind of do like that, a day before, a day later thing at the beginning. So it kind of like spoils the movie, a little bit. He walks on the church or whatever, and, he's bloody, scratches all over him. But then, his dad's talking to him, and you get like those quick flashbacks loud in your face from like what happened. And you're like, ooh, like it kind of scared me because I didn't expect the jump right at the beginning.
I appreciated that too because, like you said, I wasn't expecting it, and just juxtaposing that with his dad, the preacher, mimicking what Remick was doing, which was really cool. And I feel like if they didn't have that scene in the very beginning, the quote unquote twist, which, like you said, Mike, was about an hour in, that would have been like really jarring because they didn't give us any kind of warm up into it.
Right. It probably would have been off-putting to general audiences.
Yeah.
Actually.
Right. For sure.
Yeah.
So great decision to start the movie that way.
Yeah. So like even like before you get to the horror stuff, like that first half itself could almost be a totally different movie and go a different way and tell a story, and I would still be just as interested. Like, because I was fully behind seeing how these guys were going to start up this, nightclub. So even if it didn't turn into a horror movie, I was on board.
Mm-hmm. Same.
Yeah, and then night and day. So they're just like kind of going through town, picking up old friends, picking up Slim. He's like a harmonica piano player. They pick up, what's his name, Cornbread.
Cornbread.
Like the muscle.
Cornbread,
Yeah. He's working in the fields with his wife and family and stuff.
Yeah.
And he's like, I got a job. I can't make my wife angry. And she's like, how much money? Bam, he's working for him. Cornbread is just a fun character, and I love the fact that his name is Cornbread.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they just pick up other people. We get some tidbits of former relationships before the twins left. Because the little quick backstory is they worked the plantations, and then they escaped. So Sammy's always been like kind of looking towards them as he wants to escape, and now they're coming back and stuff. So the twins, technically, everyone they're like picking up and talking to, they know from their life before they left. We also get what the chows.
Yeah, at the
Yep.
the stores or whatever.
Yeah, it's like a general store, it's like a restaurant. I don't really know.
Yeah, I don't know. Just a mixture of everything, really.
Yeah, so they're gonna come work.
Yeah, it's like sorry to interrupt. It's I think they're both general stores, but one's for the white side and one's for the black side to show segregation at that time. Which he has a really cool shot in there. It's a one take where he follows the daughter, I forget what her name was, because Bo asks her to go get her mom, and you see the differences between each store while she's crossing, and they stay on her. It's a one shot. Really cool because he does it multiple times throughout the film, but that was like one of the first ones I think he did in it. And it was really cool just to show like what segregation really looked like, but in a more subtle way, not completely in your face. I thought it was really cool.
I didn't even pick that up.
I didn't either. You said that, and I was like, oh, yeah, that makes total sense.
That's why for me, it's like if I watch the first, second time, I pick up on little details like that because I can look in the backgrounds more. But yeah, but good to know. That's definitely, I'll be looking for that type of stuff. All right, so then we get some of the former romantic characters for Smoke and Stack. You had Mary, and you had one of you guys just covered this. Go ahead. Go ahead, Tyler. Take it.
Okay, so Smoke's driving with his car to this little house area, and he walks up to the grass, and there's a cross on the ground. We don't really know what that is until a little bit later, but obviously, towards the end of the movie, Annie's a chef, and she cooks for the town or whatever. So you get that relationship that he left and did what he did with his brother, and she didn't like that at all. He should have stayed. So you get that. Then when Stack's picking up Delta Slim, one of the white girls is staring down Sammy, and he was like, "Oh, there's like a white girl staring us down." And he was like, "Oh, don't make eye contact." Goes, "Oh, she's walking up right now." So then you get that little relationship where they're messing around, but she was only in town because her mom passed away, so that's why she's in town. And of course, they ran into each other, knowing that they're gonna see each other later. But
yeah, and can I chime in real quick?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what I really liked about the Annie scene was it set up this like supernatural side that she was kind of in tune with, and she made this necklace for Smoke. It's like the Mojo bag, I think, or I forget what it's called. But it's something that was supposedly protecting him. So it sets up like her background a little bit and what she believes in. And that sets up her character later on with the knowledge that she already knew. So it makes more sense. Like he planted that nugget early, so it didn't seem jarring that one person already knew what vampires were or whatever. Which I appreciated. Again, it's the little things, little things that Ryan Coogler did to.
And I'm not catching this stuff. This is rounded. I like hearing you talk about stuff I'm not even catching either.
Well, here's the thing too, though, is I've watched it almost back to back too. So I have 2 viewings within the last 2 days, so that's kind of why I was able to pick up on.
Obviously, I think more of my favorite scenes were just what happened at the juke place. So I didn't catch a little bit more of the stuff that happened before it, but it's awesome hearing this stuff.
Yeah, with Wes, you're gonna get that type of stuff, for sure. I'm like a little unprepared for this because I only got to watch it once, and it's like 24 hours ago.
You're good.
Yeah, so we get those relationships, and then we have Sammy. He kind of falls for another girl.
Yeah, Pearline or whatever.
Pearline, Pearline. I don't know how to pronounce it.
Pearline.
Yes, something like that. But she was at like the bus stop with Mary and Stack and all that, so.
Yeah, he was already all over her.
Yeah.
And, he invites her to the club, not thinking that she's going to come, but of course she does, you guys.
He had some moves too, man.
Yeah, more movies than I ever
So
had.
charismatic, this guy. Seriously,
I'm a little
dude.
jealous. Everyone in this movie is charismatic, so jealous of everybody,
know.
even Cornbread. All right, so at this point, I think it's just they have the alcohol, they have the workers, they started inviting people, playing music on the streets, so they open up their little shop, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and night one, just in like some cornfield, basically, they said they bought this old barn, or what was it, a sawmill?
Yep.
It was a sawmill, and night one, it's like packed with people.
Yeah.
And this is when we're gonna obviously start turning into like the more horror side. Not right off the bat. We get a little bit of just like seeing how the clubs work. We get some music throughout this movie.
But then you also get like a little bit of the backstory of the villain of this, Remick. You know, he's like running to that house out of the middle of nowhere, and he's just steaming. He's bleeding. He's like melting, looks like, and he's just banging on the door. And of course, both of them, you know, husband and wife, I think it was, just shotguns staring at him. What are you doing here? And he goes, please help me. You know, they're coming after me. And who's they? And he goes, I got all the money. Just keep me safe. Don't say anything.
Yeah, he kept saying the Native Americans were chasing after him, and he just needed a place to hide and gave them money or whatever. And they take him in.
Yeah.
Good?
Sorry.
No, you're good.
I cleared my throat. Sorry.
Were you chiming in then, or?
No, you can continue.
Okay. So they protect him. Like, she goes to the door because she's the one that's brave, while the husband stays in the back.
Yeah.
The Native Americans come, knock on the door, say they're chasing the guy. He's dangerous. Don't listen to him. Blah, 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 blah. But the sun is going down, and they look at the sun, and they're like, basically, like, good luck, and leave. And then she goes back in the house, and
she's like calling for him or whatever, but he's not responding. And then
sure enough, shocking twist, we got a vampire right here who's just killed the husband, and the husband gets up right away. So I like the scene.
I liked him sitting in the rocking chair, and you can just see the blood all over his shirt. Just, it looked awesome.
The other thing
it
about
was a cool visually. It was cool.
Yeah. The other important thing to me about this scene is it sets up right away what kind of vampires you're dealing with. So like he kills him, he's immediately up. They share memories. They each know what each of them know. He's already on board with Remick's plan.
Yep.
So right away, whether you like this type of vampire or not, we know what type of vampires they're going to be, and we also know that like he's affected by the sun because we saw him coming in. So
yep.
Yeah, I was just about to say, like you kind of know the weaknesses off the bat too, with the sunlight, and then also he has to be invited in, which at that scene too, very cunning by him to feed into their racism and knowing that they were, well, at least the husband was a part of the KKK, because he switched how he was addressing the Native Americans that were chasing him and used different ways he was saying it and pandered to that a little more, and that's why it allowed them to let him in. So it was, again, great. Jack O'Connell just killed that role, I felt like.
Yeah, like I was on purpose. I wasn't saying what he was saying about who was chasing him. But yeah, I love that scene. It to me, that's really the exact turning point of the movie.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because at first it's basically like a drama, historical drama, and now we're getting into horror aspects. So bam.
And like you brought up, that was, I think I have it written down. Where is it? The 42 minutes in, we finally get another nugget of horror. Now we know like there's vampires in this world. But 42 minutes is a long time, you know.
But it was very nice build up though.
Yeah, absolutely.
It is a long time. I was almost getting worried. I was like, if this takes a little bit longer, you're gonna start losing me. So I think they really pushed it right to the perfect moment, which is like pushing audiences, testing them, and which is something that movies should do a little bit more. Take that risk.
Oh yeah. Yep, absolutely.
All right, so then we go to the club. Anything happen important before the vampires come?
I mean, I think Mary shows up at one point. Cornbread's like the doorman, so obviously he's letting everybody in and out. But she shows up, and I think she wanted to talk to Stack or whatever. But Sammy was there, and she knew Sammy, and she's like, "Oh my God, you're so much older." She goes, "How old are you? Like 21?" He was like, "Yeah." And he goes, "All right, I'm buying you a drink." And then at that point, she's in and getting him a drink, and that's when Stack sees her and tries to kick her out or whatever. But I can't remember exactly what they talk about right then and there. But
you just got a little backstory of her and how she knew the twins and how she lost her mom, and then smoke comes up behind them while she's talking, and she can tell on Sammy's face that someone's behind her, and it's one of the twins. So she says real loud, "You have all that? They had all this money to buy this juke joint, but they had no money to send my mom flowers." And then Smoke says, "We bought your mom plenty of flowers when she was alive to smell them," which I thought was the dialogue in this movie was really good.
Which is a great line. But these scenes also do something else that is really good, and that is it sets them up as more than just like friends. It sets them up as family. Like immediately, it doesn't matter that Mary's white, they're black, the Chows are Asian. They're all here together doing this thing that feels important, like, you know, a life-changing moment for everybody. And it's just, it just makes you like all these people, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we just get a little bit more of the party, the dancing, and then Cornbread sees these three white people that we know from the massacre before.
Yep.
Walking up, and they say they're musicians. They just want to drink, eat, play some music, and Cornbread's just like, go get the twins. And immediately the twins are like, no, don't let them in, blah, blah, blah.
And then they like start. Go ahead, Wes.
Go ahead. I was going to say, great at singing.
Oh, yeah.
The number they do there is cool.
Yeah, then they like try to talk to at least Smoke to convince them to go or whatever. And he goes, well, let's do a little singing or whatever. So they start singing. And this is, to me, when you start to see the differences between the brothers. Smoke seems more on the business side and, you know, more of a leader. And he's completely just telling them no. But then he gets Stack over there that's kind of like dancing, swinging his head around,
laughing a little,
kind of like, you know, almost, you know, engaging them to come in. But Smoke is obviously not having it whatsoever.
Yeah, that song, I guarantee you when I rewatch this a few more times, I'm going to memorize that song and I'm going to be singing it at work when I'm by myself. So
there's definitely one song in here that I do listen to a lot, the Miles Caton song when he starts singing in there or whatever. But there's definitely a lot of good music in this.
Yeah, that happened before this scene. That's an awesome one take as well. When Sammy starts singing, and he kind of like loses himself a little bit, and then you see like performers in from the future,
like,
from the
like
past,
different
all coming together
and all that.
Yeah, that caught
super cool.
That caught me off guard. I was really like, "Wait, what's going?"
Me too.
That's a modern person. Oh, we have a DJ scratching records.
And you see like one girl twerking at one point or something like that.
Yeah,
it's very weird, but like kind of when you get through the end of the movie, they do kind of generational stuff.
Yeah,
and it kind of makes sense. Now I think I'll have to watch it a second time to really get all that. But like for some people, that might be off-putting. Some of the older people, I'm gonna say my age, but for me, I liked it.
A lot when since I watched this in theaters, everybody was talking about this scene. They used the phrase "out of body experience" when they watched that, and you know I'm with them on it. But it was just really good.
See,
that's high praise for sure.
Yeah, if everyone's coming out talking about the same scene, that means something was done right.
Yeah.
And how like challenging, like technically, that scene must have been. If it was a true like one shot, just the moving parts, getting people in and out. And then the best part of it to me, I thought was really cool, is when the whole place burns down and the camera's pulling out and you still see Cornbread just sitting there at the, the entrance, sitting on his chair. Everyone's dancing behind him. It was cool.
I don't think I noticed him still sitting there, but everyone's dancing like nothing's going on. So it's a little
right.
And that's when it pans out and we see the three people, right?
Yeah, I think that was the best part to me, is just seeing the three of them from a distance, seeing the building burn down. Obviously, it's not burned down, but you can just see, you know, this is Remic's time to shine.
Right. So they get denied, told to go, you know, just off to it, you know, go back into the party. And is this when Mary leaves the party, or do we have anything else?
I don't think so. I think she leaves.
There is so while this is happening, that the trio leaves, they walk away, and then they go back in, and I think they split up the narrative a little bit, where Stack is talking to Mary. Mary basically tells him, like, I know what you guys did. You stole from the Irish, or you put the Irish and Italians against each other, or they were already against each other. And while that was happening, you stole from both of them. That's how you got all the liquor and all that money you guys got out of there. And she knows at this point too that this this juke isn't making any real money. It's the
Right.
fake money that the plantations were giving out, which was real shitty. But she's like, these people say they got money. Let me go talk to them. And he's like, no, you're not. I'm going to do it. And she's like, well, they're not going to tell you things that they would tell me.
Right.
And he's like, okay. And then I think he gives her his gun and she goes out there. And while that's happening too, no, wait, no, I think that was it. I think that was the next part. I'm pretty sure. I don't think there was anything else.
All right. So then
And then she goes and
Yeah.
talks to him.
she goes and talks to him, seems all friendly. They seem all friendly, but then it quickly turns into like violent conversation. Like, you're all
Yeah.
going to die.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, what? And then
That-
she backs off, has a gun. She actually plays it really smart. She's not like a dumb character.
Mm-hmm.
So it's as smart as possible, not knowing that these are vampires, which come to a really quick shot when she's walking away. I love this shot.
Same.
You see Remick kind of just like stand up, walk behind her, and then all of a sudden pop up. and-
Levitates in the air really quick.
Yeah.
But
Just-
then they
yeah.
cut it. Like, it was just a quick scene.
Yeah.
They didn't do too much with it. They didn't do not enough with it. I think it was awesome.
That's what this movie does good, is they keep giving you like a little taste and they cut it and don't let you see it. So your mind has to play it out in your head. And I love that type
Yep.
of stuff. All right. So then we got Mary. She comes back to the door. Cornbread's still there. She makes him invite her in, not knowing she's a vampire. We don't technically know she's a vampire this time.
Yeah.
She gets in there and then immediately starts trying to get with Stack.
Yep. Kind of just like all over him.
Yeah, all over him, pulls him into the room, and try to get busy. And this is when, was it Sammy runs in on them?
Yeah, because I think Smoke was like, Sammy, go get my brother, or somebody mentioned it or whatever. One of my favorite scenes are here because
yeah.
of Delta Slim. He's looking around the place to look for him. Then he goes in the room, or before he goes in the room, Delta's like, or Sammy asks Delta, have you seen Stack anywhere? He goes, yeah, he's in that back room. And he walks in and they're doing the business. And he goes, oh, closes the door. And then Delta Slim goes, oh, he busy, huh?
Yeah, because Delta Slim is watching the door for Cornbread, right? Because he had to go
Yeah.
take a leak.
Yep.
That's the other thing. Cornbread had to go take a leak, and as he's peeing, he hears the voices, and we see the glowing eyes, so we know he's going to be a victim too. But then, Smoke breaks down the door. Mary is now biting him, all blood. He just immediately takes out his gun, shoots her a whole bunch of times, but nothing happens. So I think everyone knows something effed up is going on.
Yeah, she gets shot like a bunch of times, falls to the ground, but immediately gets back up,
Yeah, and
and
just
then
runs
says
out.
you're all gonna die, and then runs out.
Yeah, at this point,
Which is cool.
yeah.
That was the cool delivery on that one.
Yep.
Loved
Yeah,
it.
she was good in that. And they just kind of shut down the place, sent everyone out except for like our main people that
Main
work
group,
there.
yeah.
And this is when, who is it? Which character? What's the like voodoo type of lady?
Annie.
Annie.
God, I didn't write that one down.
It's okay.
Then we have Annie, who's kind of like not voodoo, but like she's into like mystical arts,
Yeah,
type
spiritual
of stuff.
and all that.
Yeah, spiritual. Basically telling us it's the vampires, basically.
Yeah.
And they start prepping stuff actually. So once again, a smart move in this movie. They immediately start prepping stuff. Because did we get anything? Oh wait, Smoke wakes up, or not Smokes?
What? Yeah.
Oh, you do
Stack
Cornbread
does,
comes
but-
first.
Oh,
Yeah.
Cornbread comes
Oh
first.
yeah, they get the cornbread
Okay.
scene. Yep.
Cornbread comes
Yeah.
back to the door.
Very funny scene. I like this.
They're not letting him in. He's trying to get invited in. They're like, "This isn't coming back. This doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Just come in. You just push your way in." And they are gonna. He's like, "Fine, I'll leave. Give me my money." Smoke goes to give him his money, and he tries to bite him right away, and immediately shoots him in the head. Just the way he immediately grabbed him and tried to bite him made me laugh. So yeah, he's a vampire because he got destroyed, but
Yeah.
yeah, and then when they go back inside, I think that's when Stack is coming
Sammy
back.
is like by the door or whatever, and then you hear knocking or whatever. So then Sammy goes up to it, and then Stack grabs the knife, hits it through, and he goes, "Stack, is that you?" And then that's when Smoke and Stack kind of talk a little bit, and Annie's like, "That's not your brother."
Yeah. So he gets out, like he busts through the door. This is when they used garlic on him, right?
Did they use garlic on him?
They
I think
had-
he just ran out.
They had their,
Pickled garlic. She grabs it because you see Annie kind of exit the screen real quick We don't know why.
Oh, it was
And
holy
then,
water. It wasn't garlic. I don't
It was
think.
no.
yeah,
It was,
Oh, it was.
I think it was pickled garlic, but Smoke's like, I'm gonna go get the key, and then Sammy puts his head up to the door again, and that's when Stack breaks through the door, and then Annie quickly throws the pickled garlic in his face, and he holds his face, and then runs out of the juke.
That's right.
yeah, and sometime at this point, we also had Bo. He's one of the chows. He left to go get the car because his wife Grace wanted to leave. So he's gonna come back, and we know he's gonna be a vampire too.
Yeah.
So at this point, like all the vampires start coming on the outside as they prep their weapons. You know, they're immediately making steaks. They're making more garlic, like water type of stuff. So these people are not dumb. They're immediately getting weapons and
Getting
prepping.
prepared and everything. Yep.
And then all the vampires. So basically, everyone that was like pushed out has been turned. So now you have like a whole army out there.
I just want to jump in for a quick minute. Side scene. They were checking to see if everybody else was human and not a vampire. So they're doing the garlics and stuff. But then they also see a body on the ground with like wine dumped on it, and they're like, "Oh, I think that person's dead." So they like roll it back out, close the door, and then he immediately wakes up and he's human. He's not actually a vampire, and he's trying to beg the brother or Smoke to let him in or whatever. And then right before they open the door, he gets bit, so they can't do anything about it. So then that's when everybody else starts coming up too. But yeah, I just wanted to mention
Wesley
that.
says, "Poor guy," but if it didn't happen then, it was going to happen 5 minutes later.
It's true. But yeah, that was also, I think, when Bo comes back, and it's hilarious because Cornbread's just eating this guy, and Bo just walks up nonchalantly.
Yeah.
He's like, "Come on, baby, let's go." Talking to his wife, and she's like, "He's eating him." He's like, "Oh, that Cornbread's just hungry."
Yeah, I love that scene.
That one's good.
Yeah, so at this point they start singing, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, Remy and all the vampires are singing, and once again, it's creepy. It's just off-putting.
Yes. Yep.
Like just knowing like you're in a place, and this is when Remick starts threatening Grace, right? He starts saying like, "We're gonna get your daughter.
Yeah, I think
We're gonna go back to town and get your daughter."
Yeah. Yeah. So the scene where Cornbread, or they take the guy out, they throw him out. They notice this dancing and the singing,
Yeah.
and then they cut to like them doing the dance around it, and then we cut to what Tyler was talking about. They find out that it was wine and it wasn't blood. They try to go check on the guy, and that's when Cornbread attacks him. And then Chow's there, or Bo's there, and then Remick comes in and is trying to persuade Grace.
Yeah, and Grace is just getting pissed, like, because she's a strong, like, female character, actually.
Yeah.
She's the one who did the business deal earlier.
I like Grace.
Yeah, I love Grace. But at the same time, she's the one that makes the dumb choice.
Yeah.
They're all, like, trying to get her to shut up.
Yeah.
And they're, like, the vampires are trying to egg her on or whatever. And immediately she's just like, "Come in!"
Yeah.
And
yeah.
it's like, "Oh, God, Grace, you're so smart. Why are you doing this?"
No.
So then immediately just, like, the doors burst down. And, like, within minutes, just, like, everyone's dead. Whether you're a vampire or...
You're getting stabbed or bit, either way.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like obviously Sammy's putting up a fight, Smoke is putting up a fight. We have a scene from Slim to me that makes no sense. He's trying to let them escape, so he like cuts himself to attract the vampires. Guess what? There's enough vampires. They're all going after anything that moves. I really don't think you need to do that, man.
I think he just wanted everybody to
think
go
he-
after
I
him to protect some of the others, but
Yeah. It's symbolic too, because he's a drunk and he's an alcoholic, and he takes a swig, his last swig, and then smashes the bottle on the counter, and that's what he cuts himself with. So his consumption of alcohol was what did him in, quote unquote. I think that was like the symbolism of it. He finally embraced it and then was able to sacrifice himself in a way. But I think Coogler did that a lot in this film, where he sacrificed like practicality with symbolism in theme, which again, it's nitpicking, but I appreciated most of it.
Yeah. I mean, I love the Slim character, so
He's
I'm
funny,
glad they gave him a good ending. And if I was like, you don't have to do that, brother.
yeah.
But all right, so then, so at this point we just get what we get: Sammy kind of escaping. He's still got his guitar,
A little bit, yeah.
and Remick made it obvious earlier he's after Sammy. Like
He was the whole reason why you went after him. He goes, after you sang that music, I knew you were the one I wanted to go after.
Yes, but then Sammy hits him with the guitar. That's like technically in a church, so I think I don't know if it was supposed to be like it did a little more damage because
this
of
was
that.
the one thing I I was a little confused on like why his guitar
or
damaged
there
him,
might be
but
silver on the guitar. I'd have to.
I think it was the silver,
Yeah.
or it could have been both because his dad did take it. I don't know if it's in a church, it gets blessed.
Right,
don't
right.
know.
Like I don't know. Maybe
that,
figured
that
it
would
was
make
the
sense.
silver.
Yeah.
yeah. Either way, it like messes up Remick. And just when we also have the showdown between Smoke and Stack
Yep.
going on in the barn at the
Yeah.
same time, where it looks like Smoke is on top of Stack, like he's gonna stake him, and we don't really get a conclusion. That it does one of those things where it cuts
Right
away.
before the stake, though, that's when Stax wants to bite Smoke, and you
Yeah.
can't do it. So
Yeah.
then you get the reverse of Smoke holding the spike or whatever, the wooden thing or
Stake,
whatever.
yeah.
Yeah. And
Now,
he can't
for you
stab
guys,
him.
was that was he when he couldn't bite him? Was it because of the necklace, or was it because it's his brother? But I felt like he wanted him to be a vampire, so it had to have been the necklace, right? Whatever was in it.
I had to be the necklace, but I also think maybe a little bit like maybe the
I think he was just holding back.
maybe the necklace started like this slow him down or whatever, and then like the realization too. Maybe a little bit of both. I guess it's one of those things where you can kind of debate.
Yep,
You know,
I think so.
I don't think
Oh,
there's
sure.
I
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
think there's any real wrong answer to that.
Yeah.
So we did get the cutaway. We don't really get a conclusion to that, and then we get Remick is about to kill Sammy, and then he gets staked right from behind, and it was Smoke who got him, and like this is one of my little problems in the movie. We'll talk about later, but like the sun comes up, and like all the vampires are in the sun, so they're all dying.
Burning and everything.
But they also made it clear earlier in the movie that whatever happens to the head vampire doesn't necessarily, like if you kill the head vampire, it doesn't kill the other vampires, but they do feel
Right.
like if you punch Remick, they'll
everybody
all,
else felt the
yeah.
effect.
They feel it.
but like if you kill Remick, that doesn't mean they die. Each one has to be killed individually. So the ones that were in the light, which were basically all of them, burned up.
Perished.
Yep.
Also, before that happened, one of my favorite scenes is when Sammy starts to say the Lord's Prayer and Remick starts saying it back,
Yeah.
and all the other vampires start saying it too as they walk closer to him, and then you kind of get like a look into Remick's past and how old Irish, I'm assuming, like way back in the day when they were his land was taken over and he was enslaved, and they forced religion on him. But he found comfort in the words, even though they might have been false, which was a really cool. I think that theme is throughout the whole movie, but that as like a villain trying. Do you think Sammy saying that was going to be his saving grace? God was going to protect him, but
yeah.
it didn't. It didn't work.
Yeah.
Remick just sang it back with him.
Yeah, I love that scene. That was a great scene.
Mhm.
Really cool.
So then at this point, we just have, I think, Smoke and Sammy kind of drive off, and then they separate. Smoke is going to go back to the barn because he remembers the KKK was supposed to show up.
Because Remick kind of like spills the beans of what
Yeah,
is
they
actually
were going to kill
on.
you. If it wasn't
Yeah.
us, the KKK was coming tomorrow to kill you.
This is a slaughterhouse. It ain't no juke joint.
Yeah, so they're all about to attack the barn, and he just goes to town on them because there was, what was he, military?
cool.
Is that what they teased? Or
Yeah. We went to war.
Yeah,
they
they
went to war.
they went to war, so he's still
I
got,
think they both did.
yeah, there was, I think, 2 rifles and stuff in there. He's got this like
Yep.
He has like a
Great.
Tommy gun and then a rifle.
Yeah.
yeah, so he goes to town and takes out every single one. Was it the mayor or just somebody else?
I think it was somebody else. I don't think it was the mayor, but the fact he only took 1 bullet out of all that was crazy.
Yeah. So there's like the one guy who sold him the barn, and he's already been shot, but he shoots Smoke, and Smoke kills him.
He asked the guy for a cigarette, and he was like, "Fuck you" or something like that. But then he actually hands him a cigarette,
Yeah.
and then he realizes that he's bleeding pretty good. So then he falls to the ground, and then the guy said something to Smoke, and then he pulls out the Tommy gun, just sprays him,
Yeah.
kills him.
Yeah, because at that point, Smoke saw Annie with their baby, and she was like, "You can hold him, but you need to stop smoking."
Yeah.
Or she said
It's-
something clever. I don't want to get any of that smoke on him,
Yeah.
which was a double meaning,
Yeah.
which was really cool. And then he goes to reach for the baby, and then that's when the guy says, "Hey, I got a lot of money," and then he just turns with the gun and just unloads the clip
Yeah.
on him, which was awesome.
Yeah, these little
Such a cool
unexpected
ending
things.
to his arc.
Yeah, so
Yes.
he took the bullet and decided, and he's gonna die from that. We don't really see it; it's kind of off screen, but
Yeah.
That ends him, and then
Yep.
Sammy. It takes us back to the beginning of the movie, where he's like walking to the church that his dad runs, and he's only got like the neck of the guitar, and he walks in, and that's basically the end of like that age group, because like you think the credits are gonna start after that, after he gets welcomed back by his dad.
My favorite scene coming up, by the way.
What, when he's older?
No.
Yes.
Yeah. So then we get the unexpected. I think they almost show like a credit or two, and then it goes to him, and it's like 1992, and he's old. He's got the scars on his face,
From Remick, yep.
and if I love in the background, he's
Mhm.
got the artistic poster of him, and it's scarred faces, and it's really sweet.
Yeah.
So he's performing
That's cool.
his music, and after it, they're like, "There's two people that want to see you," and who pops up, Tyler?
Smoke and Mary. Or Stack and Mary, excuse me.
Yeah, Stack and Mary. They survived because Smoke couldn't kill him, and they weren't outside in the sunlight. But apparently, he promised his brother that like I'll let you go, but never go after Sammy. Just let him do his own thing. And Sammy isn't really scared here, looking.
Yeah. Stack walks up to him and he was like, "What's up, Sammy?" Or maybe Mary said that or whatever. But then you can see Stack put his hand on him and he takes like 3 big whiffs and he goes, "Oh, not much time left, huh?" So he can smell that he's gonna die soon or whatever.
Yeah, and he offers to, I can make you live forever. And he's like, I've seen enough. I don't want to.
Yeah.
Which that whole sequence is just great.
I just like
cool.
the build up to when you first see Mary and Stack. It's just a very slow-mo music in the back walking. I'm like, oh yes, this is awesome.
It was cool. It was a unexpected, because when you see the credits rolling, I just thought it was just a guy playing the blues. Just the credits were gonna roll out. I was like, okay, cool. And then the credits cut away, and then you realize, it's Sammy just shredding the guitar up there like he does.
Yeah.
And then he sits down, and then when you see that slow motion, them walking in with the music, oh man, I wasn't really expecting it. It was so cool.
And also like just them wearing the 90s outfits, from back in the day.
Yes.
They're just
Oh,
that was
God.
awesome.
That sweater is horrible.
I think he even has like he has the Stack like ring on. He's got rings on that say Stack on
Yep.
it on his hand. When he puts his hand out, I was like, okay, this is so 90s. It's so cool.
Yeah, so then he basically just talks to Sammy and he was like, you could live longer, blah blah blah. But then he also mentions that, the music isn't the same with the electric. It's kind of like the older stuff. So then you get this next scene of him playing the guitar from the original, obviously rebuilt because it was broken. Have him playing his song, and you can just see Mary and Stack going along with it, tapping their hands and everything, just like they did when he was singing in the car and singing in the juke joint or whatever. So yeah, that was good.
Yeah, it's almost like you could feel his sense of relief almost. Like he wasn't scared. It was more like kind of almost good to see a familiar face, something that impacted him.
Yeah.
So
'Cause he looked up, like you said at the beginning, he looked up to Stack and Smoke. Maybe Stack a little more, because Stack seemed a little more receptive of his dreams and what he wanted to do. And for him, it was like, yeah, I love this guy, and I'm so glad to see him again.
Yeah.
And I was going to ask you guys, do you think when he was playing the guitar, do you think they got to see Smoke? You know how he can open the veil in Remick? That was the whole reason he wanted him to play music, was so he could be back with his people or see them again.
I honestly
I
haven't.
wonder if they were able to
I
or at
haven't
least
thought
feel like
that
they
far.
were with him.
Same.
Damn,
Okay.
going deep already. I told you, 24
Oh,
hours.
sorry.
It does bring up a point, like the movie ends with a great quote that me and Tyler both liked. I think Tyler wrote it down.
Yeah, this is obviously all this is my favorite scene, but it comes to the favorite quote. After they're done playing, they do like a little hug. So obviously, he's a vampire, but he's not scared of him. Like you said, good to see a familiar face. So they hug it out, gives him money, and then he starts walking away. And Sammy goes, "You know something? Maybe once a week, I woke up paralyzed, relive it that night. But before the sun went down, I think that was the best day of my life. Was it like that for you?" And he said, "No doubt about it. Last time I seen my brother, last time I seen the sun, just for a few hours, we was free."
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah,
After
it's
that
so
scene, I'm
good.
like, damn, this movie was good.
Yeah, that's how you end
Yeah.
the movie.
Yep.
All right, so that's the movie. Let's see, the first thing I want to talk about, really, after going through that, did you guys find this movie scary at all, or
No, not really.
No.
I guess the only thing would be just seeing, the horror aspect of all the vampires, but I didn't really see anything very scary.
Yeah, because I don't really remember feeling like it takes a lot to scare me, so I'm not expecting to actually be scared. But like watching it, it's kind of weird to see one of these horror movies where it's almost not meant to be scary. I don't think. I mean, maybe some people get scared, but it was good to see one that's not just like a pop out like
Jump
blah,
scare
blah.
there, jump scare there.
Which
yeah.
drives me nuts. This is one that's gonna mentally do more. Which to me, it's almost not even a horror movie. It's almost like
sure.
a drama that happens to have horror elements in it, which I absolutely love.
That's like akin to like is it Charlie and the Chocolate Factory or is it Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory? With Gene Wilder, which one is that?
Willy Wonka.
So okay, so it's not a horror film until
I hate that scene. Why'd you bring it up?
Happens and then
because it's legendary. Still remember it.
It is.
It's a kid movie. They literally show a chicken get his head cut off.
I know they got away with that. Yeah, I didn't think this was a horror movie. Like you said, more drama for sure with horror elements.
Right. So the second part of that question is, do you think it does good as a vampire movie, or do you think it fails like Twilight? Because me personally, I think this does vampires better than I've seen vampires done in over a decade for sure. You guys think it does good as a vampire?
Well, I was waiting for Wes to go. Maybe he wanted to chime in there.
Yeah, I can chime in. Yeah, yes, the vampires in it, even though you don't see them a lot in the beginning or at all, what you get of them and the nuggets of lore of Remick and learning where he kind of came from and his motives and how they operate, I really appreciated it. It was like a grounded vampire. They were able to ground the vampire genre a little bit, and that's what I appreciated so much about it. And just the way they look. Cornbread, when he got shot, like his face all messed up.
Yeah,
and
it was like a broken jaw from what I saw. It was like
Dude, it was cool. Like they did a really good job with the overall aesthetic of them.
Yeah, I definitely like that they follow the real vampire rules from the past.
The lore in this was really good, and obviously, they build it up with, what makes them powerful, what makes them, hungry, all that stuff. But you also see the weaknesses, and I think it just worked perfect in this.
And for me, was it just me? I don't think Tyler. Have you seen Dusk Till Dawn? All right,
Wes, I heard a lot of similarities.
Have you seen that one, Wes?
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yep.
Did you get kind of like Dusk from Dawn vibes from this, or see how that movie may have influenced this
almost immediately after? I think it was when Stack died, and they cleared everyone out. I was like, oh wait,
yeah,
we're shutting the doors. We're not letting anyone in. We have to get prepared. Like this is from Dusk Till Dawn for sure.
It was awesome.
The influence was there.
Like it's not the same
it was
story.
Cool. I appreciated it.
It's not the same story, but there's definitely similarities, and they kind of took the things that worked in that and kind of used it for their own story. All right, good. I'm happy.
And Ryan Coogler said that. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I need to say when I'm chiming in.
He needs to say it.
Ryan Coogler said that not a lot of people knew this because he directed Black Panther 1 and 2 and Creed, but he's a huge horror fan, and not a lot of people knew that about him. So he wanted to bring those elements into this. So I think Dusk Till Dawn. I think Night of the Living Dead a little bit too.
Yeah, for sure.
Just being stuck in the house and trying to keep what's out from getting in. Yeah, you could see those influences, which I appreciated.
And the last thing before I let you guys bring up anything else, that's working okay. I've loved Michael B. Jordan basically from the start. And I think he's already like one of the, top A-listers. But I don't know about you guys. For me, this movie almost like solidifies him as like one of the big Hollywood hitters from this point on. I've never seen him give a bad performance. He played two characters that were twins, but like
totally different,
and just so charismatic. And this was a horror movie, which he doesn't even like horror movies, and this is the first one he did that. So he's like branching off. I think he's like as A-list as you get. He's probably top 5 of this generation's actors, I gotta say.
And obviously with Ryan Coogler too, they've worked on a bunch of movies together. So obviously going into this, Ryan Coogler called him up and he's like, I'm there. It might not be something I'm interested in, but I'm there, and totally worked.
Do it for you, yeah. Yeah, Michael B. Jordan. I think his best performance was in that Fantastic Four movie. You guys seen that one?
I have.
Are
but
you
I don't know what
are
you're
you
talking
saying that in
about.
a serious way?
It's fantastic.
Absolutely not.
Gosh,
Say that again.
We would fight right now. Gosh, that movie was terrible.
It was so bad.
But it wasn't his fault.
But yeah,
why it's
Michael B.
bad, so-
Jordan is not at all. Yeah, you're right. This if he wasn't on your radar before, which I don't know how that's possible, he's definitely on everyone's radar after this movie.
All right, either of you want to bring up any more? Take the lead for any points or
Wes, you can go. I'm looking over my notes if you want to go.
So I was talking about my dislike portion, and like I told you, I had to look for them like really hard to find some negatives, and the only things that I came up with was what we talked about a little bit, was the first where we know it's kind of a vampire movie. It took 42 minutes to get into it, but we learned so much about the characters before that you learned who they were. You felt like you really knew them, and you cared about them, which it's hard to really make me be fully invested in a character. There has to be good writing, good directing, good acting, and this had all of it. So that's out the window as a dislike. I wish we could have seen more vampires, which is a dislike, but
I do. Well, once they show up,
it
though,
is what it is.
they kind of go like crazy.
It goes. Yeah. The pacing's really good towards the end.
I almost see this like you could open this up to not necessarily a sequel, but like a whole new world, like a different movie that's in the same world, just different characters.
Yep. A whole universe of even going back to when Remick became a vampire, like learning how that happened, I think would be interesting as well.
Yeah, that'd be pretty tight.
But yeah, literally that's it. Those are my negatives, which they're not really negatives.
So I'll do one like you, where it's a negative, but it's not really a negative. The editing and the music editing, like together, it's almost used against each other, and can be very jarring. So yeah. So like for me, it worked perfectly in the movie. I could see some people not liking it, like I said, like especially the older people. But this movie's not made for you. For me, it was risky how they did it. The risk paid off for me, but like I could see that was like another thing that's like right on the line for me. If you did it a little bit differently, it might have turned out worse. But other than that, I don't really have many negatives. How about you?
We talk about negatives
right now?
Sure, yeah.
Do you have any negatives?
So one of the things going into this was the Remick running away from the Indians and stuff. What do you think the reason of bringing in the Indians was for? Because I thought going into the final act, I thought maybe they were gonna come in and help kill all the rest of the vampires, because obviously they knew Remick. They're like, don't trust him, so obviously they know some background about what's going on. So I thought maybe they were gonna be in the final act. So I just felt a little off that they were just there for the one scene.
So I would say the reason they brought them in is probably a two-answer thing. Number one, it gives you more evidence of like the time frame that you're dealing with, that there's still like Native American tribes kind of like out like there. And number two, Native Americans are very like entwined with nature and spiritual side. So if there's stuff that's like a vampire, like an ancient type of monster, that they realistically are going to know how to hunt it and that type of stuff. So it's kind of give you a feel like that.
That makes sense.
That's how I take it.
And I also think they referenced the Choctaw tribe. I think that's who they were. And she talks about them in the beginning as one of the few that had people that could pierce the veil between life and death with their music. So it was kind of tying that together. But I agree with you in the respect that I felt like they should have appeared in the last act. But if we're going with the rebuttals, I think they understood the immense power of Remick and what he can do, and that's why the guy said the sun's going down. We need to get the F out of here, because you know what happens when the sun goes down. And I think they weren't going to mess with that at all.
All right, we
That's kind of like my idea. But I would have liked to see them again. I would have liked to seen the tribe come in.
One thing I kind of talked
for
about a
sure.
little bit earlier was the comparison between Stack and Smoke. Smoke being more on like the business side and stuff like that. So you get the scene where they both split off, they hug, after that snake scene, and they go on their own trails or anything. Smoke, is doing more of the business side stuff. He's getting the place ready, business, food, drinks, all that stuff. Then you get Stack that collecting all the playing around. I feel like Stack played around a lot of this, so he picked up his cousin Sammy. He gets Delta Slim, Cornbread. I just felt like, I don't know, maybe that was a symbolism thing there, but unless I'm just digging too deep.
I agree with you on the symbolism thing because it's heavy in that sequence for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. As for me, we get talking positives now. I think you can already pick up from everybody. The acting in this movie is great from everybody. I don't think there was a weak link here. And the biggest part for me is Wesley kind of tipped on this is the characters. The character development in this movie is amazing for such just one movie. You got so many characters with interesting backstories that you care about everybody. And that's hard to do in one movie.
I just want to chime in because I kind of wanted to talk about it when Wes was talking about it. But Delta Slim, for example, you see he's got like a drunk, does music and all that stuff. But then you also get the scene where they pick him up, they're driving, and you see all those people, act. I can't remember what exactly they were doing, but
they were probably digging ditches.
Yeah. But then, one of them starts waving at him or whatever, and then he gets shot. And he goes, "Oh, did you know him?" And he goes, "I knew all of them." So to me, I kind of try to pay attention to Delta Slim a little bit. I mean, or he just popped out to me, but you get his backstory, where he's from, what he's been through, and what he's dealing with now.
Yeah, and then you got like the story he was telling about I think it was his buddy Rice that they played music together.
Yeah.
And they both got a bunch of money, and Rice wanted to open up his own church, I think. And he got on the train, and these guys got a hold of him. They saw the money that he had, and they basically accused him of murder and rape, I think, and they lynched him right there.
Right.
Yeah.
And when Slim is telling this story, dude, it's so you feel the pain. You can see it. And then the choice to mix the audio
Correct.
of
Yep.
kind of like the music they were playing, dude, that when they're lynching him, like it was so heavy.
Yeah.
And then it brings up one of my favorite scenes, which is the improv by Delta Slim, where he starts humming, because the pain with blues, that's why they play blues, because it's an outlet. It's to get their pain out. And he's sitting there humming and hitting his knee, and he wasn't supposed to do that. That wasn't in the script.
Oh, really?
And that's when you see Stack look like they almost look confused, but Michael B. Jordan's a dog, and he'll play with anything. So he's seeing it, and he looks back at Sam, and he's like, "You got a guitar, don't you?"
Yeah.
And then Sammy picks it up and kind of looks at him. I was like, man, that is some like it's not like a huge improv scene, but it hit hard.
Very nice and well done.
It hit hard.
That's when you have like a vet act on veteran on the set that's just like knows what he's doing. I think we can all agree like the directing in this movie is great. The music, the sound, just the sound effects in general, and the soundtrack, the score, everything hits hard like really well. The cinematography, everything. You can go on and on of why this movie's good.
Yep. Absolutely.
All right. So, anything else you guys want to talk about, or you want to go to ratings right now?
Yeah, I think we hit it all. I would like to. I brought this up. I have it on here because I really liked it. It was the action for Smoke in showcasing his abilities, especially when when Grace yells to come in and they all start coming in, and when he kills. I don't know if he killed him, but it was really cool. It was the first vampire that got turned, the husband.
Yeah.
And he comes up to him, and then he blocks him, stabs him, and then shoots him in the head. Like the sequence there, Michael B. Jordan, he's so good, and Coogler at directing action. And I thought that was really cool what they were able to do with that.
Yep.
I do forget. I do have one more quote and one trivia thing I forgot. So I'll do those really fast, then we'll go to ratings. There's one quote at the beginning of the movie that kind of opens this up before it got closed out with Tyler's quote, and it's His dad, the preacher, as he's about to leave, he says, "You keep dancing with the devil. One day he's gonna follow you home." That just that kind of sets up to like what the story's.
I mean,
gonna
within
be.
that first 5 minutes, obviously we reverse it. He was totally correct on what he said.
And then for the trivia, this is like the only trivia I found that was like kind of interesting, and that is lots of the costumes for this movie came from the Marvel movie Blade because it got delayed so much, but they had all the costumes made.
Oh my god!
So there was a period piece in the movie that was supposed to take place, and this is where those costumes came from.
Dang.
So
that is so cool.
And also makes me more sad
sweet.
that we didn't get our Blade movie yet. So
I just saw a thing that it was announced 6 years ago that we were getting Blade, and we still have yet to get it.
There will only be one Blade.
I was so
according to
excited for
Wesley.
that.
Yeah.
Yep, that's right. That's right.
All right. So ratings 0 from 5. 0 being nothing redeemable. 1 being it's bad. 2 being should be better. 3 being middle of the road. 4 is
pretty darn good.
And 5 is a true classic.
You did a little backwards there, so it was a little confusing. But
A little confusing, but I got it through. That's the important thing.
Whatever gets it through.
Wesley, it's your first night on. What score are you giving this movie?
I gotta give it a solid 5. I think years from now, no matter when you watch it, it's gonna be a phenomenal piece. It's gonna be timeless. Like we talked about, technically speaking, acting, all the little nuggets, the little things that happen in it, the story, the theme, all of it is fantastic. I don't give a lot of 5s out, and I know the hype was there for this, and I was kind of coming in a little reary, but I see it. I saw it, and I will watch this movie again multiple times.
First time on, he's throwing out 5s already. Kind of like what I did on the first one.
I didn't want to. I didn't want to do it, but for this one, I have to.
All right, Tyler, what are you giving this movie?
Walking out of the theater, I gave it a 5. Walking it out today, hitting record, another 5.
2 5s, dang, you guys.
Let's go.
Okay, this is the type of movie that I want to see nowadays. I'm so sick of all these, copycat big blockbuster movies. This is the type of movie that took risks, and I freaking loved it. I only seen it once, so I can't give it a true 5 yet. It's not getting a 5 for me. I was dancing between 4 and 4.5. Which one was going to give it? I will go 4.5. This could go up to a 5 after rewatching, so I could revisit it if I change my opinion, but this, I think, is probably the strongest reviewed movie we've done on this channel so far.
One of them, but yes. Totally agree.
That is just under a 5 if you average it out. So this is only the 3rd movie we have done that goes on the Wall of Fame.
It has been a while. I'm glad we got something new.
So
awesome.
This joins The Conjuring and American Beauty. So 3rd movie on the Wall of Fame. Anything that averages over a 4, which is hard to do, but it did it. So congratulations, Sinners.
Shout out Michael B. Jordan and Michael A. Jordan.
All right, so before we let off, Tyler, where can they get us at?
You can check us up on X, TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram at Real Lounge Entertainment.
All right, and let us know in the comments, how do you guys like this movie? Did it live up to the hype for you guys? Yeah? Yes? No? All right. So as always, I'm Mike.
Tyler.
Wes.
There you go. And thanks for watching, guys.
Oh, we busy, huh?